In today's video, I am joined by the amazing Compton, who I think I've spoken about on the channel before. He might even have featured on the channel before. I will link him in the description if you're interested in seeing his amazing work. Not only is he a photographer, but he also runs this amazing space, Be Cool Studios in Manchester. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be teaching Compton how to shoot film. He's never shot film before. So we're going to be working with the Mamiya RZ67, a 120 film camera, as well as a really easy Canon EOS 500, which is a 35mm camera and has full automatic controls. So you're okay?
Yeah. Pray for me, guys. Pray for me.
We're mostly going to be using the continuous light setup. So we're going to be using the Nanlite Forza 60C as our key light, maybe throwing in some extra lights for additional lighting. But yeah, let's get stuck in. How are you feeling?
Nervous. Never. I've been doing photography for almost 12 years now, and I have never shot film. And we had this conversation. That's why we're doing this video now. I've always seen and enjoy the images that come from film, but never had the opportunity to actually experiment with the idea of shooting film. So be a bit of a learning curve, I know, but let's see how we get on.
What we've got here, two different film cameras that take different types of film. So this is a 35mm camera, takes 35mm film. So this is kind of probably what you're going to be most familiar with.
Yeah.
So it'll be what's in like a disposable camera. Or
okay,
like
so like one of the point and shoot stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it's that sort of thing. And then here, this is a medium format camera. So it takes 120 film, which is this film. So essentially what that means is the negative size is bigger than 35mm film.
Okay.
These are film backs, basically. So the Mamiya RZ67 is a part of a series of cameras that are like fully modular.
Oh, so you can interchange it
and
add and take away bits if...
Yeah, so that's really handy for like shooting film because I can take that off, put like a black and white roll in there,
okay,
a colour roll in there, and then I can switch.
Okay, so the film goes into the actual back itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll show you how to load it in a minute, but the film goes into the film back, then you have your body and then your lens, and then this viewfinder is also interchangeable.
Okay.
So it's like fully modular. So with film, you have like a predetermined ISO.
Okay, so the ISO is written on the packets as well.
Yeah, so Credit Gold 200, 200 ISO, Portra 400, 400 ISO, 400D, that's 400 ISO.
And is there like a specific one that you would use in studio, or is it based off of what you're trying to create and how much light you can...
Yeah, no, exactly that. So it's just like how you would on digital adjust your ISO.
Yep.
For example, if I was using strobes, I'd probably use something like a 200.
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't need it.
Yeah, the strobe's going to be a lot more powerful.
Yeah, exactly. When we're using continuous, you want to use something a little bit higher, 400 to 800 kind of mark.
In terms of your settings on here, on your camera, which you're obviously going to show us in a minute, how you actually get the correct exposure for the film as well, isn't it? There's a different way. I know I've seen people use meters, light meters.
Yeah, so you could use like a dedicated light meter, you can use an app on your phone. For today, we're going to use a digital camera to meter it. So just work out our settings on the digital and then transfer that into this camera. So with this camera, you have like your set shutter speeds here. Yeah. So 400 is the fastest that you can go.
Yeah.
And then,
is that with this particular camera? Can you go for faster with maybe the other camera, for instance?
Yeah, with different cameras, there are different setups.
Yeah.
But for this particular camera, 400. And then I think it goes down, all the way down to like, you got 1 second there.
Wow.
You can go into like, where you basically would trigger.
Oh, so using a trigger, like an actual remote trigger, so you'd be away from the camera, you can give it like a 10-second delay.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd use like an air release or something like that, but we're not going to need to do that for today. And then obviously on your lens, you've got your aperture on your lens.
So your aperture comes first.
Yeah, so this lens is 110mm.
Which is the equivalent of?
Roughly about a 55. Because it's a bigger sensor than a 35mm film or digital sensor, you're going to have a shallower depth of field. This is called a waist level viewfinder. So you look through it.
Yeah.
The thing that you have with this is that it kind of works backwards because there's no mirror to flip the image.
Okay.
So
what I see in there will be flipped the other way.
Yeah. So if you want to hold it and you kind of get a feel for it. When you move one way, it actually moves the image the other way.
Oh. That is so weird. Yeah. Now I can see you. And then...
So the focus is not on the lens. So this uses a bellow focusing system.
Okay.
Which essentially, if you use these little dials here, can you see these?
Yeah.
If you use them, that will move the actual bellows. So the lens will come closer to the subject.
Yeah.
And that's how it will focus.
Okay. Oh, wrong way. And that's moving back and forth.
Yeah, so you extend the bellows to focus, essentially.
Yeah, now you're in focus, I think.
And what that means is that you can focus a lot closer than like with a lens.
Yeah.
As you would
So
normally.
I'm not moving the actual things moving itself. But,
yeah, the lens is moving further away and closer to your subject.
Yeah, the eyesight has to be really good as well, I've just realised. Like, because I'm nearsighted, is how you say it. Working out if you're definitely in focus is...
Yeah, so there's also a little bit in, so that will just show you kind of like a magnified view.
Okay.
Just flips out. So this is a 35mm camera and it looks really similar to a DSLR.
Yes.
It's just not got your screen in the back. Your film's in here. It's already in here, so we're just going to use the film that I have in here for now, which is Kodak Gold 200, which might prove a little bit difficult because we're going to be using continuous light setup, but we'll make do. This camera I really like because it's really easy to use. It's really similar to your DSLR. You can even shoot it in auto if you wanted, or like aperture priority or something like that. You can also, because it's a Canon fit, you could use your Canon lenses on it.
Okay, so like a normal...
Yeah, exactly. So I think we might do that. I've got a 35mm Canon lens with me that I'll put on it, and that stops down to 1.4. So that might help a bit.
Lenses are currently got on?
So this is a 35-80. But yeah, I'll start by showing you how to load this film. So what this does is these little clips, you just open those and it will open up. Okay. So you've got this film take-up spool. Okay. So this needs to come out of this first bit. Yeah. And you need to transfer it into this section. Wow. Yeah, so we're going to put the film in here, loop it into this, and then that will rotate. Yeah. So the frames will kind of advance as we go. So with this camera, once you've taken a photo, and your shutter is down here, by the way, I forgot to tell you that. Okay. So that button there is your shutter. Okay. So you'll press that, it will take the photo. Okay. Then you're going to use this, which is called a cocking lever. Yeah. That will cock the shutter, because what you'll see once you've taken a photo is the shutter kind of closes, so you can't see anything through the viewfinder anymore. When you push that lever, you see how this advances at the same time. Yeah. So that will advance the film one frame.
Oh, so the shutter advances the film, you don't actually need to advance the film yourself?
Yeah, so with different cameras, it's different. With the RB, you have to cock the shutter and advance the film, but the RZ does both in one, which is good. I'm going to press this down,
and that pulls,
and that pushes this little bit in. Slot the film in there, and then release that little button so that it clicks in. Yeah. When you hear that click, you know it's secure. Yeah, exactly. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this part of the film. Yeah. This is called the backing paper, so there's no actual film on here. Okay. And you're going to slide it round, and then there's a little slot in there. Yeah. Don't know if you can see. Yeah. So it's going to come through that way, and turn it. Other way, yeah, and then pull it through. So what you're going to have now, when you set this on, is you're going to rotate using this advancing lever until this arrow
points straight.
Yeah, and the arrow is going to go there. Okay. Close it, shut it. Then you can use this to advance the film, and it will stop when it gets to the first frame. So you have a frame counter here, it tells you 1. That's the first. So for this roll of film, you have 10 photos. Okay. Get started? Yep. Perfect.
Let's go.
Nice, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's nice. If you look for me that way, perfect. Nice, 1, 2, 3. Get you to look that way for me. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, nice, cool.
I'm still working out that left to right thing.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Oh, did I even talk about that? I didn't see that then. Please let that not be the shot. That's it.
Just unload that.
Okay,
so if you, so what you want to do,
put the thingy in.
yeah, put the thing in so it goes in underneath.
Where is it? There? No?
Back one.
How do you know?
So there's like, you see those two little, there you go, it goes in there. So what you want to do now is make sure that the film's properly advanced.
Okay.
So you kind of feel it, I can feel it now, it's done. So I'm going to open the back and you can see like the film's advanced properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all over there, nothing's coming out. So you're going to press this little bit down, take it out, fold that tab back.
Yeah.
And then this is going to wrap round.
Okay.
You got to lick it.
Okay. And then that goes
that goes
back into a
So
container.
what I have, it doesn't have a container.
Okay.
I have a little black bag.
Okay.
Shove it in there. When I take it to the lab, it's in there.
Yeah.
So do you want to load the next roll? Okay, cool. So what you're going to want to do is move the take-up spool from, have you already done it?
No.
So you move it from the left to the right.
So you kind of have to line it up with...
So I think what you have is you're just going at the wrong angle.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah?
right. Okay.
Okay, so go at a lower angle. Yeah, perfect. You got it.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah. Then take that bit off as well?
Yeah.
Do you go that way?
No, the other
way?
side. You got it? Yeah, you got it.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay, so then don't unwrap it, just put it into this little... So it's the same as the take-up spool. Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
That's
cool.
it.
Yeah, great. Great, we're ready to go.
Not stressful as I thought it would be. just the little bits, like just obviously understanding that you don't undo the whole roll, and those intricate bits is what is the most like worrying, to say the least. And obviously our thingy's still in, right? And then when we're ready to go, we pull that out and we're ready to shoot.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So we'll get the next set
up.
Set up.
So we do the test first.
Yep.
With the outfit.
So what I was thinking for this is where I want to do the gradient backdrop and then light her, but I think we'll keep the white down and just put a colour on the backdrop.
Okay. Yeah.
And then light her. So if you've got another one that we can shove a softbox onto. Let's hold there. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Going the wrong way. Like maybe a little bit more. Oh, you know you rested it before.
We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Nice, 1, 2, 3. So how did you find shooting film for the first time?
A lot easier than I thought it would have been. The only thing I would say I'll need a little bit of work on is maybe when loading the film. Mm-hmm. That bit. The other bit would be making sure that I understand left to right, with the fact that it wasn't like it was flipped or it wasn't flipped. So it kind of like have to go left to actually go right.
Yeah.
That was obviously challenging. But also the focusing, I think with the Mamiya, is it the RZ67? That one, I found the focusing better without the actual sort of magnifier. But the 35mm was really easy because it was just half press and then shoot. It almost felt like I was still shooting digital in a way. Mm-hmm. So that was obviously a lot easier and a lot quicker to just bam, take the shot, move on, bam, take the shot, move on. Whereas in the RZ, you have to like think a little bit more and like take your time. So yeah, I can understand, and I do appreciate you guys doing it and do it very often. You have to have a bit of patience. So that's key. I do realize that now, whereas in certain situation, I prefer to go quick. Whereas in this almost gets you to slow down and think about each frame.
Yeah.
Like lining up each frame to exactly the composition you want before you actually take the shot, and knowing that it's in focus and stuff, and hoping that it's in focus anyway. Hoping that.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, we're going to get this film developed, and we'll shove it all in the end of the video. And thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting. You know, like, I find sometimes the best way to kind of get started with something like film is definitely to do it yourself and to practice. But it can be expensive to make too many errors and stuff like that. So hopefully it's a little bit interesting for you guys, or useful for me to show Compton how I would work those two cameras in particular.
She's convinced me to try and buy one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also thank you for obviously taking the time to do this. Thank to our model Olivia as well. And thank you to Michael that did the behind the scenes for us too. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone will be linked in the description as per usual. Thank you, Compton, for being my test subject, and also for letting us use your studios. Be Cool Studios. Always welcome. You're always welcome to come to. But yeah, Be Cool Studio will be in the description too. Make sure you check us out. If you need a studio in Manchester, come and check us out. I'll take care of you. Amazing. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. you.